said before, those bookkeepers did not used to exist, and yes, it could be quite trying swimming back and forth, back and forth. Alright, let's see if we can find some of these goods, some of the pottery and all, so we can take them back to the Dunedain, so the Dunedain can stick them in yet another hole in the ground and hide them away for another 1,000 years. Because that's so much better than letting the bandits take them and actually sell them and use the money for something. No, I don't know why I'm so cynical this night. But we shall see. I don't know. I think Rangers, cause they're like the elves. They just get on my nerves at times because they are just so high and mighty, just like that, where, you know, go over here and risk your life and the life of my other Rangers to defend this little acre of land of flowers and all that. Not that there's anything there. It's of no strategic importance whatsoever. But someone used to live there, so let us go and defend the couple of rocks. Okay. Alright, third piece of jetsam. Let's see if we can get that without being attacked. Good, we're halfway there. We need to collect 3 more. I was thinking about going into hiding, but this might be how we have to collect those worn scroll fragments and all, so we may need to kill a few. Okay. The other thing we picked up, I meant to look at, was, where it is, the Sash. Yes, Tomb Raider Sash. You collect a lot of these while you're over here in this area as well. Let us scroll down and get another one. Here it is. Go ahead and loot that. The Tomb Raider Sash here is one of the chief means of increasing your factions. You see, 30 faction points. We used to carry, I said once before, back whenever, back before you could just right click and turn them in. Inventories used to be full of Tomb Raider sashes because you just picked them up and picked them up and picked them up and hunted them and hunted them and hunted them. Going after those sashes, trying to get your faction up. And there's a lot of bandits out here, and they drop a lot of sashes. The other thing they drop a lot of is you'll find a lot of Mathams off of them too. So it's a good place to work at to gather up your faction with the Matham house as well. Alright, another bit of jetsam. Have I got any Mathams? Don't see any. Don't see any this time. Alright, we need one more piece of pottery. Let's see if we can find another one around this side here. And then we will head back on over and turn them into our little clay collector. There we go. Last piece around here. I wonder if sometimes these might double for rocks, might double for chopped up logs, might double as bits of firewood. They are kind of, you see, they are kind of, I bet they're also logs and rocks, and they look like they are multi-purpose bits of the environment there, used for any number of quests. Back to Estiel we will go. I think as we pass around the front of the building here, I saw a ring wandering around. I think that might be, what's his name, Forkin? And that gentleman, no, that's Kulang. That's not him. Those are traders. We'll have to keep looking around. That's not Forkin. Oh, Ooh, I don't remember all this being here either. It's the weirdness, that right there, you know, a big old quest hub, and that's perfectly fine. I understand that, and I think that's a wonderful idea. You know, it used to be you had to, whenever you were going to work on your skills or whatever. There's Forkin right there. Although I swear his name is spelled differently there than it was in the quest. Used to be, you know, you'd have to travel anytime that you wanted to work on your skills while you were here. You'd have to travel back to the Shire, work on your trade skills and all, and then come back up here to go questing. So it is nice that they put a skills area there, workshop and forge and all that kind of stuff. But it also raises the thing, they've increased the amount of experience and how quickly you level so fast. It's like, do you really need that there? You're going to be leveling out and moving away from this place, I think, long before you would need to actually work on your skills. You have returned, Gnarlo, with some shards of Evendim's history, I trust. I have indeed.
Will you do something for me?
You have recovered quite a few artifacts and bits of pottery from the shores of the lake, Gnarlo, so now we need to sort out the valuable pieces from the rest. I've been separating the pieces I've collected by size on each of these mats, so if you do the same, I would appreciate it. Then I can examine them easily for clues to their history. It should not take long. Alright, so it looks like we're kind of like the, I'm sure we don't have any pieces, nope. So this is going to be much like over at the pipeweed. We're just going to click on medium, and that's going to sort out our medium pieces. Boy, I was carrying a lot of crap. And those are the medium pieces. What do the large pieces look like? Whoa! Well, it's a good thing I didn't need to hide from anyone. Of course, it would have been easy. I would have just had to throw down one of those large pieces and crawl inside of it. And the small pieces. Alright.
What can I do for you?
Thank you for your help, Gnarlo. Nathman thinks such efforts are fruitless, and that any time spent out of battle with the tomb robbers is time wasted, but I disagree. We must salvage whatever remains of our history from them we can, whether through combat or the avoidance of it. You have a good heart and a helpful spirit, Gnarlo. I believe that you are indeed a friend of Aragorn, and I will tell Calenglad as much. Thank you again for your efforts. Alright. I also want to look at these bronze Anorian coins as well. Is that what this is? Nope, that's a writ of special passage. Bronze coins. That may be something here. Yeah, bronze Arnorian coins. They must be to trade in with the faction folk. Okay. Finally, let's come over here and talk to Forkin. I'm gonna look at this again. Oops, wrong one. I want to look at that quest again. Loyalty's proof. Forkin. Speak to his rangers at Tynan. Alright, no, it's spelled Forkin. I would swear it was spelled Forkin earlier. I'll have to take a look at whenever I am
Might I take a moment of your
putting
time?
editing the recording here and take a look. Evils out of Fornost. You say that you have been sent here by Aragorn. Sure you have, and I am Arvidu Last King. Calenglad is right not to trust you, if you ask me. Still, I'm not going to turn down a helping hand. If you can convince me you are not a robber trying to make off with precious relics of the Dunedain, I will put in good word for you a Calenglad, but you will not have it easy. Bats and Barghast have been creeping into Duel from the fields of Fornost, and we rangers have been too busy dealing with the tomb robbers of Evendim to drive off the creatures. Head east toward Fornost, defeat the winged beast and their fell hounds in Duel, and then return to me with word of your deeds. Okay. So to do that, we're going to have to cross out. We're going to have to go across Duel and back over to this area. So he's sending us a good long ways, because right over here is where the North Downs are. This is a connecting road between us and the fields of Fornost. And you do get a bunch of the Oathbreakers and the Bats and the Barghasts and all sorts of stuff in the eastern part of Duel there. So we are going to mount up, and we are going to head over that ways, and I will see you whenever we reach the crossroads. We have crossed the bridge and gone eastward up the road from Tynan and are reaching the crossroads here. If I remember right, yes, there's a stone marker right around this side. Why don't we take a look at that, if it'll let us. Nope. I couldn't remember if that one actually started the quest or was just part of the quest. So here we are at the crossroads, and we are going to continue eastward through Duel and see if we can't find some of these bats and barghests. They shouldn't be too hard to find. They're right past these ruins. I would imagine we will enter into that area. And we'll probably have quite a few, as I said, of the undead, the Oathbreakers, to slay as well. You see more of the architecture, fabulous building styles. I am looking forward very much to Gondor. Really like to see what they do with a city that's not lying in ruins. Okay, let's see if we can take on this Shadow Wing. Good hit. Very good hit. Took him down halfway. There's our first bat down. Alright, I see wolves. There's one of the undead, one of the Oathbreakers there. I don't see, there's a barghest. So let's go and see how quickly he goes down. And then you'll see what we'll essentially be doing for the next few minutes. He's down as well. So as you see, nice and easy. As long as we don't get ganged up by too many of them, we should take them down all right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can't continue killing them. And once we have collected all the ones we need, we will go back over there and talk to that very suspicious ranger. Not very trusting at all. We've just taken out the last barghest. We need one more Shadow Wing here. And we'll see if we can't take it out right now. Nothing's been too much of a danger. We have been stunned by these Shadow Wings a few times. But fortunately, like that. But fortunately in single combat, they're not going to hurt us too bad. As long as there's nothing else around pounding on us. Closest we came to problems was one of the Oathbreakers came wandering up right in the middle of one of our fights, but fortunately did not quite get close enough. I was able to, that one right there, the archer, I was able to back up far enough that they weren't able to get within aggro range. So we are leaving the eastern part of Duel. You'll see the sky is pinking up again, getting out of that horrible, haunted, dread sky. We're at Forod. The sun will be rising very shortly. And we are going to head on back to Tynan. So we'll see you when we cross the bridge once more. And we come across into Ranger Island once more. Please be sure and pick up your tickets at the booth there. And be sure you are at the minimum height requirement for all the rides. Okay, let's come back over here and talk to Forkin. And let us see what he's going to send us on next, since none of these people want to do just one thing. You return, and in victory, I confess that I did not fully expect either of those tidings. There's more work to be done, Gnarlo. Well, I confess that I fully expected that.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Grave rubbings. I think I've seen that movie. It is not yet enough, Gnarlo. I need you to show me that you hold the history of the Dunedain as important as I or Duel. If Calenglad does decide to help you, I will not be held responsible if you turn to plunder. In Duel, just north of the road that runs to the fields of Fornost, there is a small graveyard called Gorthost. The names, birth dates, and death dates listed on the stones there have not been recorded. Take this charcoal and this parchment and make rubbings of the graves of Gorthost. Beware the bats and bargas that are sure to prowl nearby. Gorthost is by a collapsed wall north of the ruins of Osthern, and also north of the road. If you return from this errand, our ancestral records will be more complete, and you may have proved your worth to me. Perhaps. I'm gonna prove something to you when I come back. Gonna prove you can bite my butt. Alright, back off to Duel again. And let's see if we can't get the grave rubbings for the grouchy, cynical, suspicious ranger here. Who couldn't have told us to do it while we were killing the bats and bargas, could he? No. See you again shortly. We are passing Candiac once more, the Crossroads here. Moving into Duel, and we are going to see if we can't find this graveyard that they are wanting us to find. We have been, as you see in the chat down there, collecting U-logs along the way. Bunch of U-logs here, bunch of rich iron, bunch of gold for all of you prospectors and jewelry makers. Mind fiend. No platinum though, just gold. Alright. Now, it's to the north of the road, I would imagine past, from his description, past these walls here. We should find it on further north up this field. We'll just have to make sure we dodge and avoid the Oathbreakers. And as you see, we're getting the evil sky above our heads once more as we go into the haunted areas. Going past the Oathbreakers and the Barghests and the Bats. See if we can't find... Oh, I'd love to grab that U, but we have other things to do. Ooh, there we go. Those look like gravestones over there. Yes, they are. We've got some gravestones. So let's ride up here. And we will take a rubbing to gather the precious information, names, birth and death dates. That apparently this is not going to be good here. That apparently the Rangers find so important they can't do it for themselves. Okay, we're going to go into hiding. There we go. Now, I wonder if they are programmed to do that. Because they surely were not all standing there a second ago. They didn't come up and start banging on us until we actually clicked on the gravestone. So, we're going to take this one out. And get him out of our way so he doesn't do that again. What was that? Fine footing. Ah, I'm going to have to try that. That was one of my new skills where I could break the stuns. Let's see if anything attacks us again. What about this fourth one? Can we get it without being attacked? No, of course not. Alright, let's go ahead and take these out. I think we can take 2 of them. We couldn't take 4, but I think we'll be able to take 2. There, we did find it, didn't we? didn't have time to use our burglar heal. Let's see if we can get this last gravestone without getting jumped by anything. As we said before, all this stuff is so precious to the Rangers, but he doesn't have the time to get off his butt in front of the fire and come collect it for himself. Used to have a roommate like that. Alright, back to the island it is. And go back talking to these Rangers who are really starting to chap my hide. We'll see you when we get there. So we crossed the bridge into Tynan for the last time, hopefully, on our mission to prove ourselves to these lazy Rangers. You've heard of the game Hungry Hungry Hippos? Well, this is the game Lazy Rangers. Let's come back over here to Forkin, him with the changing name. The bats of Fornost are not content to remain there and often pass into Evendim. Yeah, tell me something I don't know, pal.
Greetings.
Very good. These rubbings are clear and easy to read, and the information will be most helpful in piecing together some gaps in the histories. Go across the way to the bookshelf containing our lineages and place these grave rubbings on the right shelf. Come back and speak to me when you have done this. Cannot even do that. Go across the way. Oh, so these things, not only are they so important to you, you can't go and collect them yourselves, but you leave the books out here in the rain when you got a big old building you could stick them in right there. I swear. Sometimes I think I'm the only one in Middle Earth that has any sense whatsoever. No, we haven't been looking him in the eye because of the glare off the sand, but I think we're okay now.
Greetings.
Thank you for your effort, Gnarlo. For my part, I believe that you have been sent by Aragorn, and I hope that Caninglad will help you with due haste. I would tell him you are not a tomb robber, and that your assistance has been of great help to me. Yeah, bite me. Alright, let us see if Caninglad is willing to take us on by trust now. Whoop, a little too close. Let's get off their lunch, and then let's talk to him.
What do you need?
I have heard from my brethren, Gnarlo, and they are satisfied that you are who you say you are. I apologize for my mistrust, but you cannot be too careful of strangers in these dark days, no matter whose letters they claim to carry. I will help you acquire the Silithar from my lord Aragorn, but the power to do so does not lie within me. I must journey to speak with Gwyndeth, and I think it best that I alone make that journey.
What do you need?
A friend in Ostforth. Many years have passed since I first beheld Gwyndeth, the Blue Lady of Nunuil, but on that day I resolved to do anything in my power to preserve her peace and the safety of the lake she loved. My duties here are twofold, oaths folding in on oaths, for I swore to Aragorn in his youth the vow that I swore to his father, to uphold the line of Elendil using all my strength. The protection of Gwyndeth and Lake Nunuil also serves this oath, for Gwyndeth is the protector of the Silithar. Long has she maintained the flood that keeps the stone safe from robbers and plunderers. True-hearted she is, but slow to trust. She shares that in common with the Dunedain. I must speak to her alone, but the work of keeping Evendim safe will not stand for the delay caused by my journey to her home. I would have you travel northeast to Forod and Tirn Fornek, and offer your aid to a friend of the Rangers, Robin Dunkley. He is our ally against those who would plunder Numinos. I will send word to Robin when I have returned from my meeting with Gwyndeth. Okay, so he is going to send us on to Ostforod while he goes talk to his girlfriend. And Ostforod is right up here. We will be traveling back to the Crossroads and to the north. So that is what we would do when next we meet. In the meantime, I am going to chill out here for a little while, have a pipe, and see if it won't calm me down and get me over my frustration with these Rangers. If they're not sitting on their butt talking about how important their missions are and could you go and help them out, because they would help you, but they seem to have taken a tick to the elbow then they're going off and spending time with their girlfriends. So we'll see you next time. We'll pick it up there, and hope you've had a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.